Check 1, 2, check.
Check.
Checkity check, check.
Got me in there, DDT.
I got you.
Are you gonna do the whole show facing away from me?
Yes, I gotta watch the computer screen.
This will be awkward. I won't have any facial
You'll be
communication to guide my wit.
you'll be looking at the back of my head.
It's
the whole
hard, man.
time.
You better turn around.
There
It's
you
kind of
go.
awkward.
There
okay,
you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
You got anything today?
No. I thought you're the content driver of the show.
I'm the creator. I have a
You're
few
the
things.
Creator.
I have a few things.
Are you the creator?
I'm going to start off. Yeah, I'm the creative content.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with a DDT style apology.
Uh-oh.
That is something
Oh, no.
I
I
definitely
haven't
want to start
done
off
that
with.
in a while, eh?
So I will start off
Yeah.
on your behalf.
Okay.
And kind of almost on the same theme, I have a pick.
Yeah.
Duff's pick, General
Yeah.
Duff's pick, but I'm
Yeah.
going to say it's a Duff's pick for DDT.
Oh, thank you.
I think this is a show you will watch,
Okay.
if you haven't already.
All right.
And then, yeah, we got some political talk.
Oh.
Got our local altruistic business
Yeah.
recommendation.
Your recommendation. Eh?
We can talk sports like we've just been talking about for the last 20 minutes.
I think you.
Oh,
I think you've probably said this restaurant a few times.
for the pick? Yeah, so I'm not doing I have another one. I came up with
okay.
something else while you
Oh,
were.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it seems
It's the
every
same Indian restaurant.
it
the
seems
whole
every
time.
Friday now. Oh, I can share a funny story though. We should talk
yeah?
about my regular Friday night takeout from Rahi.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll save it for the show.
Sure. Now I'm curious. Warning. This podcast will be an injurious waste of your time. Warning. This podcast will be an injurious waste of your time.
Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please.
Morning, Duff.
Good morning, DDT.
What a way to start the show. That was
man.
That was short and sweet little
Well, that was the
precast.
precast. That's
Yeah, but
pretty
usually
normal.
we're like 4 or 5 minutes long.
Well, you got some stuff to do soon, so I don't want to keep you
Oh
from
my
it.
God! No, you could have gotten into it. So what do we got for today? You gave us a
Well,
little
first off,
highlight
I'd like
the
to
top.
apologize.
Oh yes, the apology. You mentioned that.
I would like to apologize to Scotty, Brianna, and the whole crew
Oh.
over at Scotty's Corner Diner in Bell's Corners, Ontario, because we were thinking of heading over there today.
Yes, we were.
But thanks to you,
We didn't.
we can't, because you're
No.
still trying to find the best deal for a $2 part to make this
A
podcast
headphone
happen.
splitter,
A
which
headphone splitter,
which for some reason I
which you've lost
misplaced.
somewhere.
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere, which is strange.
Now, obviously, we don't need it for the show, but here we are in the basement with
We don't need it here.
DDT's cave here with only Winston snoring in the background, but we
Yeah.
can't run it like this at Scotty's,
No.
can we?
No, it's much more difficult.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to be more focused, I guess.
Well, we need to hear what each other's saying.
True, without
Maybe.
everything
Maybe.
else. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We don't
Do we?
need to hear it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds no
Might be.
value to anything.
It might even be better if we didn't hear what each other was saying.
So we could just run it
Yeah.
freestyle at
Yeah.
Scotty's someday without all the parts.
Well, we could try that and see what happens.
Well, anyways, you are working on it because I thought it's getting a little ho-hum in your basement every week after
Oh, really?
week.
You don't like my
No, it's
basement cave?
less exciting. Less
Should
to
we go
look
back?
at.
Should
I'm
we
looking
go?
at this. If you change the posters every week, it might be fun. But I see the same 3 posters every week,
Yeah, I know.
and that wheel on your screensaver. Like, at least at Scotty's, you got different people rolling in.
Yeah,
There's
that's
more
true.
action. People
That's
sitting
true.
at the bar.
You think they'll want us back though?
Well,
After we abandoned them?
I think
Did we
any
abandon-
local business would take the money, wouldn't they? Isn't it kind of hard times these days, no?
It is.
So I think they would take
Take the money
our
and run.
fancy bills and your $2 tip and
What do
my
you mean, my
$12 tip.
$2 tip? I always tip Brianna.
Do you tip Brianna well?
I did.
I think so.
Is she still there?
I think so.
Oh,
I wouldn't
okay.
know. We haven't been
We
in so
haven't been
long,
in a
eh?
while.
We're going to have to get over there.
I'm gonna have to call them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So anyways, that's
I'll call
that's DDT apology. style
nice.
to kick off the show here in
I like
season
that.
5, episode
5.
5.
Yeah.
Season 5, episode 5.
It is.
S5E5, folks.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to dig into first, DDT?
Well, what do you got on your list? What's up first on your list?
First on the
I
list.
want to go in order.
First on the list is the Canada. Let's go in order. Is the Canada Post strike?
It is, eh?
Yeah.
That's first on your
No,
list?
you covered. It is.
Oh, God. All right.
Why, oh, God?
I don't know.
I tell you why it's first on my list, because
Why?
it's symbolic of so much, I think, these days. Okay?
Which is?
Which is how our country is falling apart.
What you think?
Yeah. And
Oh.
how we're clinging to these archaic sort of systems that aren't changing with the times.
Oh, wow.
Right?
This is a big philosophical discussion.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong. So Canada Post is a model that's been around way before
Right.
online purchasing of stuff, right?
Right.
Way before home deliveries and whatnot.
Right.
And at a time when I guess everybody was literally getting mail delivered to your door.
Yes.
Okay. They've made a few tweaks along the way to
Mhm.
try to save money, but apparently they are billions in the hole. Like they
Yeah.
are so like this is like it's not even
Yeah.
close to
Yeah, yeah.
breaking
Yeah.
even. And
Yeah.
I know it's not a profit generating entity, but as Canadians, we shouldn't be paying, billions into the hole just to keep this thing running, right? So I guess, and I don't know a lot about the workers side of it. I think they're on strike probably for what? More money, more benefits,
yeah.
more this, more that.
I believe they are asking for something like a
Yeah.
24% increase.
S-
And the union is the
Oh,
company's offering 11 something, 11 point
Even
something.
amongst this billion-dollar deficit that it keeps happening, right? Or whatever it is.
Now, yeah, I was out on the picket line.
Yeah, so you covered a bit of this in your
I was out on
your day job.
I was out on the picket line the first morning on Friday
Yeah.
morning, and I was just talking to some of the workers. It's interesting perspective
Yeah.
when you hear, the people that are working on the front lines, and
Yeah.
then you talk to the.
Well, let me ask you
company.
this.
Yeah.
It relates directly to the people on the line.
Mhm.
Did you get the sense from any of these guys or gals that
Mm.
they thought that their job was becoming obsolete? Like they
No.
were kind of fighting for something that they didn't really think was going to be around in
Not
5 years?
really.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were digging in.
Yeah, so they don't think their job is obsolete. That's an interesting point you brought up, because it was actually, we didn't say that we didn't talk about that specifically, but in a way we did, because they mentioned Purolator.
Yeah.
Purolator is owned
Canadian company.
by Canada Post, basically.
Really? I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Yeah, and they have their the Canada Post CEO sits on the board of
Purolator Courier.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a couple of, So,
Interesting.
the workers basically were saying, okay, well, the deliveries will go to Purolator
The Canada Post
deliveries,
Hmm.
right? So Purolator, it's a weird relationship.
I didn't even know there was
somehow.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they believe that they can do just as good a job as any other delivery service.
Including mail, is what you're saying.
It-
Purolator would now become more than just a package
If-
delivery
If
service
necessary.
when
Sounded like.
packages were delivered to not a daily scheduled
Right.
service like Canada Post.
Sounds like it.
That's what they would want them to do,
Well, that's what
which
it sounds
again is unsustainable though.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said,
I'm almost seeing a little bit of potential there. If Purolator becomes the mail service, and then if you get mail, it gets delivered. Like, here's the problem. This is what I was hearing on the radio there this week.
Okay.
We're paying these postal workers to do routes
Yeah.
like we did 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Whether or not there's mail to be delivered, they walk around this route.
Yeah.
And we get mail once in a while, but when you really think of it, we could get rid of all of it. Half my mail is stupid flyers
Yeah.
and pizza
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
and that.
yeah.
Like, And then the other
still
half is
advertising.
bills that we're just too stubborn to switch over to paperless.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else we get.
So the thing is, I think that the employees that I talk to anyway, they seem to be of the mind that they can do what Purolator does.
Okay.
Deliver the parcels and everything like that.
Kind of combine it all.
Yeah. But and so they know that, it sounds like anyway, that they know that times have changed.
Yeah.
But the company is not set up.
Yeah.
Hasn't been switched over in a lot of ways to be able to offer that service.
Because I guess my simpleton's outsider look on this whole thing is, if you are needed and you're going to go on strike and you're going to hurt people to do it, those people will push for you to get back to work and get what you need.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes teaching works that way, right? Parents don't want their kids home. They want them in school learning. So when teachers go on strike, there's a real threat to moving forward when they're out. And those strikes don't seem to last long.
Yeah, I don't think this one will last long.
I think so. Well, this is where we perhaps diverge, DDT. I think maybe this one could last for a very long time, because and I'm not trying to sound cold, because I actually know postal workers too, salt of the earth folks. And in fact, I would love that job. What a great job. Yeah. Walking around, delivering the mail. Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
The guy I played soccer with.
Yeah.
I ran into him again since I started working downtown.
Yeah.
He's a mail carrier.
Letter carrier. Good.
Yeah.
So
he comes to our office all the time. It's like, first time I saw, hey, Scooter, how you doing?
Scooter.
Yeah.
That's a great name for a letter carrier.
Yeah, Scooter, exactly, yeah. Well, that's what we call him in soccer.
Okay.
Scott, I think, is his real name, so Scooter.
Maybe he's more of a...
I haven't seen him.
Maybe he's more of a rambler on the mail route.
No, he's a good dude.
But my point is, like...
On time.
It sometimes change sucks. And I think if I never had another if I never had another Canada Post delivery made, I don't think my life would change.
No, probably not. But here's the thing.
But if the border guards went on strike, my life would change. Yeah. If pilots went on strike, my life would change. Yeah. Teachers, doctors, well, they don't go on strike, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So these guys are going on strike, and the worst thing that could possibly happen to them is if nobody notices. Yeah. Right? Like, very true. So you don't get the pizza flyer. Fun side note. So here's a great example of that. There's some high-tech company in Canada North. Oh, I should have did some research. Uh-oh. Hey? They've been on strike since last December. They're approaching a year. The company, it's a small company that builds whatever in Canada North. Right. And the owner has no interest at all in negotiating. So these guys are on strike. He's not budging. Well, he hasn't budged.
How do they even unionize? That seems
they're a small union. Exactly. That's another side question. We should try to find this out. If only we had a fact checker here.
He's AWOL.
But I suspect this guy just 1 week said, well, if you're not back, we're going to build it somewhere else.
It's
so
like
whatever they do, they're building it somewhere else. I think.
Well, yeah, X or Twitter.
Yeah.
I fire 90% of the staff.
Right.
Nothing changed. Yeah. But yeah, like the thing
back
is,
to Canada Post.
But yeah, like my preferred, usually, if I need to do something, my preferred way of sending a parcel is actually through Canada Post. I was telling the workers that. I said, well, they said, well, it's probably more expensive. And I said, no, I said, I don't find
they're saying they're
yeah, they were saying this. Yeah, exactly. They were saying it's more expensive. And I said, well, first of all, like, I can just go to the, like, Shoppers Drug Mart or whatever. They have a postal outlet there, and I can just pay for it. Like, otherwise, I have to call, Purolator or
so there was a
UPS
convenience factor. And you're right. I've done that before as well.
And
correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when I would buy stuff online in the earlier days, I'd always get choices.
Yeah.
And Canada Post was always the cheapest selection. So, I don't know what happened to that. Maybe there's just not an option. Maybe Amazon, they do all their own stuff.
Yeah, now, I think they have all their own drivers.
But maybe in the early days of Amazon, Canada Post was a delivery partner.
But I've sent, I've gotten stuff from, let's say, Japan or Australia.
Your motorcycle parts.
Yeah, that they send through Japan Post or... whatever, Australia.
Japan Post.
Yeah. Huh. It comes through Canada Post. It never had any issues.
Yeah.
I've sent stuff off down to the States.
Yeah.
Through Canada Post. So you buy the tracking number, you can track the parcel.
That's right. I have done that, and I never had a problem with that.
Never.
But I'm assuming maybe we're a bit out of touch with the data there. Maybe it is way more expensive now than the competitors. I don't know.
It's hard to say. But I think that it's more convenient.
At the end of the day, I would just say I hope the workers are represented by intelligent negotiators and that they get the best they can possibly get out of all this. Because on the surface, it looks like it's a changing system, and the relevance of Canada Post is just not what it used to be.
No, I mean, that's like, you're right.
Like
but I mean, still at Christmas, I think
sure.
people still send...
So that was their last
mail
trump card to play, of course. So they're like, they waited for this. They're doing it right now where they think it can hurt the most.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to get that impact.
They went on strike at 12:01 Friday morning.
Why is it always 12:01?
I don't know.
Eh?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe if we had a
Were they really working at 11:59?
They work 24/7 there.
Yeah, but were they really working at 11:59, or did they just say, 2 more minutes?
I don't know.
I'm
Good question.
I wonder.
Yeah, and then they got
Next
locked out.
time you see them on the picket line,
I will ask.
I'd like those sort of cutting edge
Those
questions
details.
asked.
And then they were locked out at like 8 a.m. or something like that.
So then the company goes around and locks them out,
Yeah.
even though they're on strike.
Yeah.
I've never fully understood that one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems a bit odd. But anyway, like, let's hear from the listener. If you use Canada Post,
Yeah.
let us know.
I don't know if they use it over in Romania.
No, but I'm talking about our
The
listener
locals,
here.
Lanark.
Yeah,
Brothers.
Lanark. Yeah, they must use Canada
Speaking
Post.
of far away, remote places stuck in the 80s. Ooh, that's actually a good segue to my other DDT pick of the week. But I was going to say, last thing on the Canada Post, a couple quick things that I found interesting from what I heard on the radio. There are still people that get home service delivery with Canada Post.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about you go to those little community mailboxes.
Yeah.
Rural areas do. My parents still get it.
Yeah.
But I did not know that some of the oldest urban communities still get door-to-door.
Well,
And
I used to have it
guess
until a few
which
years
ones
ago.
they are, like Rosedale in Toronto,
Right.
Outremont in Montreal, all these liberal bastions.
Oh, okay.
Champagne socialist headquarters. They get mail delivered to their door still in big houses in the city.
Must be nice.
Well, I'm just saying that has to go. And the Glebe has door to door.
Oh, there you go. Then.
I couldn't believe that when I heard it.
So
But yeah.
what's going on there?
The Glebe and Rockcliffe Park in our hometown get door to door mail delivery.
Because you got the rich folk there.
But it's baffling. Like, again, I'm nothing against the workers, but I thought in terms of fairness, like when Canada lost its door-to-door service 20 years ago, that everybody did.
Oh, it wasn't 20 years ago.
Or whenever.
Mine was just a few years ago.
You had door-to-door just a few years
Up
ago?
until probably just before the pandemic started.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they decided they were going to put the mailboxes
on
my...
Right on your lawn.
On my Well, I guess it's not my property because,
It's that little... Is that where they are? Right out there still?
Yeah, they're just around the corner.
I thought they were further.
But no, they wanted to put them...
Right in front of your house.
Basically, right at the corner.
Well, that'd be cool.
Well, no,
I was social gathering spot.
Well, I was like, "What are you guys kidding me? You can't park there. It's right on the corner. People are going to be stopping their cars and this, that, and the other thing." I said, "Look at all the room down at the end here."
Not in my backyard, according to DDT.
Well, I said, "Look at all the room down at the end of this."
So you stuck it to someone else, eh?
No, it's still on my property.
Oh, but it's at the edge.
At the edge.
Okay, but they wanted it right in the middle.
They wanted So then the guy came over.
You could have done it up nice, man. A little patio around it, a couple of chairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they sent the guy.
Community bulletin board, maybe.
True.
Yeah.
True. The guy came by.
Yeah.
And so to discuss it with me, and I told him, I said, "This is where you want it." And he said, "Well, what are you thinking?" I'm like, "Doesn't it make more sense down here? Because people can actually stop
I love
their
how
cars."
you single-handedly negotiated
I did.
with a crown corporation and all their subcontractors in this development of the community box and just had it changed like
I
that.
did. I was surprised. It was
I'm surprised.
really efficient.
I'm surprised they just didn't say, buddy, it's just our job. We have to do what we're told.
Well, when they send the letter
yeah.
over to me saying that
Yeah.
basically we're putting it here.
Yeah.
If you have any concerns, please let us know.
That's too funny.
So I had my concern and I let them know. And then, like I said, they sent the guy. The guy was cool about it. He said, yeah, you're right. It does make more sense down there.
Okay.
Yeah, and changed it.
Well,
which was amazing. I'm surprised it was changed. And they didn't put the original box in there and then realized, oh, no, shoot.
I can't believe it. So, moving on.
Yeah, what's next?
Speaking of the 80s and
80s
mail service door to door.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Nothing But a Good Time?
Yeah.
The uncensored story of the 80s hair metal bands.
Well, I heard of the song called Nothing But a Good
Okay,
Time.
so you don't know about the series.
I have not
This
heard
is
the
a series on Prime.
Okay.
It's Duff's Pick of the Week, but more specifically, we're wondering if we shouldn't create a Duff's Pick for DDT every week. Because this is something I see you watching.
Okay.
You like the guitar. You like the music from back then.
Yeah.
I am more of a casual fan, let's say. But the title caught me because one of the bands I do love.
I know, and I don't understand that at
Poison.
all.
Poison. Yeah, what don't you understand?
That's terrible, man.
Fantastic band.
Terrible.
Fantastic.
Bad.
And there was a category.
They're not even.
There was a category labeled to them which made a lot of sense.
Which was?
Pop metal.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's the gold, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, this show.
Anybody who liked that music back then
did
not like pop metal.
Well, yes and no. You got to watch the show.
Including me.
They showcased a lot of the trends and how things evolved and changed and this and that. They talked about, oh my God, Quiet Riot, Great White, all these.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Rat. You ever heard of a band called? Yeah. So they had these obscene, like far end, like nut jobs, I would say.
Really?
Like, one that started with a W. One band, man. I
Wasp.
wish I had Wasp. Wasp threw raw meat out into the crowd.
Yeah, but Ozzy.
Yeah, but
Ozzy.
Yeah,
was it
but
Ozzy?
I don't know.
Ozzy bit a head off a chicken.
Yeah, they didn't get into that in the first episode, I guess. But yeah, so that sort of stuff, surprise. Duff wasn't quite into that.
Yeah.
But Poison, to me, was all about a good time. They had great tunes.
No.
So Poison.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
Well, so you're the guy that liked being in the middle of 100 other sweaty guys, no women in the entire crowd, right? No girls.
Moshing?
Chewing off chicken heads and throwing meat around. Yeah. That was actually what the metal scene looked like at one time. But these other guys coming in, and this is what the show was highlighting, tweaked it a bit. They tweaked it into more of a party. They went from that weirdness to like guys with assless chaps on, biting off chicken heads, to Poison, where there was a real, like, more of a party, like a women, girls, like all that angle to it. And it was lights out like that for 5 to 10 years, they said. With still your favorite all man in the crowd with your assless chaps biting off chicken heads. Like they coexisted. But you got to check it out. It's a docuseries that showcased the blazing creativity and ambition of the 80s hair metal scene.
So I'm going to check it out.
Contribute.
Thank you for the recommendation.
So I got it. I said, oh, let's check this out, like, to the wife, because I'm like, maybe they have some Poison in here. and by episode 2 was when the Poison came in. So episode 1 was more the start of it all. They talked about how in Hollywood, where the music scenes was headquartered, they were getting out of rock and roll and getting into more of this crap music in the 70s, like disco and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, disco's not crap, but they had some really weird examples to prove their point.
Right.
And then it showed Ozzy Osbourne, these guys not giving up. And then it kind of came back, and Poison and bands like that came back, and it just kind of took off. And there were 4 or 5 clubs in Hollywood that were just lights out every night. And then the music industry had to budge. The music industry did not want to go back to that, but they were forced back into it with bands like that.
Well, here's my recollection
Yeah.
of that time, having grown up through that time.
Mm-hmm.
My recollection for me,
You were
personally,
more at your peak through that time. I came in maybe it's more
you're
of
a little bit later.
yeah, so maybe it's more of a generational thing, because I would have came in more when Poison came in.
Right.
And you came in more when the
so
assless chaps biting off chicken heads guys.
well, they wouldn't have worn assless chaps.
Oh, they showed assless chaps.
Well,
with
there
those
was,
guys.
but not Ozzy.
Well, that band, that
Not
era,
not
that music.
not like Black Sabbath, not like
No.
Deep Purple, not like
Yeah.
those types of bands.
Which you liked.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course you did.
But here's the thing.
That's my point.
Uh,
Did you wear assless chaps when you went to the show?
I did not.
You did.
I did not.
That was a long delay.
It's
It's okay if you did, DDT.
No, I
Nobody's
didn't, I
judging.
didn't, I
The
didn't.
listener doesn't care.
But here's the thing. Okay?
Although it is a pretty crazy image.
In the 70s, I was a big Kiss fan.
Right.
Kiss was
The
huge
late
at that
70s.
time.
The late 70s?
No, they came in the early 70s.
No, but you're not that old.
Well, I was born in 67.
Yeah.
So I would have been 10. Like in 77.
Yeah, okay.
And I think they came on the scene, if I'm not mistaken, we could have a fact check if we had a fact checker. It was around the early, like
the late 70s, early
72.
80s. Oh, that early? Well, you
Kiss,
consider
yeah.
yourself a fan when you're like 7?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, wow.
was
Okay, I didn't know any
fan,
music really
yeah.
at that age.
Yeah, I was huge fan at that young of an age.
Okay. I was
Like-
watching Sesame Street, I guess. They had music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
So was he probably watching Sesame Street at the same time, but a huge fan of Kiss.
Okay.
I mean, they were so different, right? They
Yeah.
had the makeup and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and
Sure.
the music was hard rock, heavy metal, more hard rock. So there is a distinction.
There's a distinction, I agree.
Heavy metal, hard rock.
Yeah. But even heavy metal to the hairband metal was
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. It was
Yeah.
more hard rock.
Yeah.
And then you had bands like Poison that came in
Yes.
and made it like you said, pop.
This is
rock.
when we should be allowed to play a couple
Oh, I
songs.
know, it would
Eh?
be
Just
so
a little
good.
hint so
Yeah,
the listener knows what
exactly.
we're talking about.
We could sing them. Ain't looking for nothing. Well, maybe we can't even sing
No,
it.
you can't.
Yeah.
No.
So, but anyway,
That's what makes the show really cool too. They played like I don't need to hear a whole song of anything when I'm watching a docuseries, but they would have the nice little mix of every song
Right.
coming in when the guy and they animated. Okay, so sorry, I keep cutting you off here, but
all
I
right.
really like this show.
yeah.
It surprised the hell out of me because I didn't think it'd be that informative almost.
Right.
So the stories, man, were the best part. They
Yeah.
they interviewed all these guys that were part of these bands, every one
Yeah.
of them, and they would have the coolest stories.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's crazy
friggin'
things.
it was complete debauchery.
Yes.
Complete debauchery.
Yeah, exactly.
And they shared some of it, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, it was Kiss, right?
Yeah.
And in the background, you had the heavy metal, which was the Black Sabbath.
Mhm.
I think Deep Purple was kind of considered that.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, I wasn't only into the hard rock. I mean, I liked, the Eagles, and
Sure.
you listen to Alabama, or not Alabama.
Nothing wrong with Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're more into the
Anyway, my point is,
Yeah.
in the 80s, when I was, in high school and stuff,
Yeah.
the hard rock
Yeah. Not
was
the heavy metal.
Not the heavy metal,
Yeah.
but the hard rock
Yeah.
really became popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had
Like
bands.
a White Snake.
Yeah, you had like the
Yeah.
White Snake. You had like Rat. You had like
Rat would have been more heavy metal.
no, they were hard rock.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Too hard for me.
I really liked a band called Tesla,
Yeah.
which you
I
might
remember
have
Tesla.
Yeah, so I really was
Yeah.
into them.
Yeah.
Then you had like the Def Leopards.
Oh yeah. Love
Def Leppard was more of, I would say, pop rock. Pop
Exactly.
metal.
So I'm hoping the series. I'm only on episode 2,
Yeah.
and it's all Poison so far, which is right in my wheelhouse. But I
Yeah.
hope they bring in like a Def Leppard.
Well, they
interview.
had Twisted Sister. You
Twisted
had
Sister.
Motley Crue.
Yeah, Motley Crue has been profiled in the show.
Yeah,
so
I mean
far.
they were huge.
Yeah.
There were so many huge,
Amazing. Yeah.
like AC/DC.
Well,
Bunch
money
of
doesn't matter, so you're gonna have to buy
Yeah,
yet another
exactly.
subscription for Prime if you don't have it already.
Oh, I already have it.
You got Prime?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're all set then.
So
You gotta
like,
check it out.
those were the music that I was really into, and then you
Yeah.
had. I also listened to punk.
Now I don't
Punk
see
in
a
the late-
lot of that influence in the modern day Dadbods.
There is.
Not much.
Really, you don't think?
The noise level isn't near that. There's
no,
no
I mean,
assless chaps.
we're
the
not
hair is not there. There's zero makeup.
we're not proficient enough
There's nothing.
musicians to play that type
No,
of
you're not even
music.
close, man.
No,
Not
we
even
don't play
close.
that because I mean the rest
So
of the
there is
guys
no influence.
the rest of the guys don't really like it. We play AC/DC.
Yeah,
We threw in an AC/DC song now.
yeah.
we're
it's
doing-
not the same.
We're doing that. We're doing
The next show, or I'm not going back to a third. We need bit off chickens and assless chaps.
oh god. So we were discussing we were discussing that.
And throwing meat into the crowd.
Yeah, so we were discussing if we played a show, and I said to the guys, like,
Yeah.
I said, you know what? The band scene, the cover band scene, it's like people just get up there in their street clothes, jeans and a t-shirt,
Sometimes.
and play. There's no,
The Derringers pulled it off in Almont at the fair. I'd say.
Sure.
They look professional.
But
they
there's-
look the part.
but there's no real showmanship.
No,
anymore.
there's a lack of general showmanship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said to the guys, like, if we ever played like a bar
A
or
show,
something,
you want to have a look.
I'm wearing this tight spandex,
yeah,
right, with the cucumber down the spandex.
yeah, or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
A small pickle maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
A little dill.
A dill.
Yeah.
A sandwich.
A gherkin.
A sandwich
A
slice.
sandwich slice.
Sandwich slice.
A gherkin. Yeah,
Yeah.
a sandwich slice. You know, the tight blue spandex with the gherkin.
Oh God.
You know?
Blue spandex.
pink. Pink?
Well, I don't know. It's your band, but why blue? I was just
I don't
picturing
know.
black, I guess. But
Or-
anyways.
no, because blue you could see the little sandwich slice.
Oh.
If you were wearing black, I don't think you could see it.
You've obviously put a lot of thought into
I
this.
did,
I
I
hope the
did.
band is on board, man.
No, they are not on board.
Oh, okay. Well, then you might as well give up.
Well, I mean, like it's like, guys, come on, you gotta put on a show here.
Yeah.
Like we just
Get
can't
them
get up
all.
in their jeans and
Get them all to watch the
and
series.
their button-down shirt.
Yeah, watch the series, and they may be inspired to dress it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I dressed up a little bit, eh? At the
You
show
did.
we did.
You did. You made it mildly entertaining.
There you go. See,
Yeah. I wasn't against it at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
all
very
right,
much.
so you're gonna check it out.
I am good. What's it
Okay.
called again?
It is called Nothing But a Good Time,
Nothing but a good time.
with the two little dots above the O, like in Motley Crue. What do you call that? An accent?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. There's
Something.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's called something.
I think you'll really like it, and the listener, I think you will too. Do you have a total? What's wrong?
No, I'm
You're
just
giving
checking.
me that panic look like you
No,
didn't
no.
hit record.
No, it's recording.
What do you
I like
have?
that segment.
Oh, I bet
Takes
you
me
did.
back to the.
That was great. Yeah,
I used to go to a bar just
I
to
knew you'd like it.
go
Yeah.
like in the early '90s.
Yeah.
I used to go to this bar in Hull
Yeah,
called Roxanne's.
of course.
It was a heavy metal hard rock band
I've
bar.
actually been there.
Have
Yeah,
you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I remember going there, but not really being that into it.
Oh,
I don't think I went
we
a
were,
lot.
We were into
Yeah.
it
You
every
loved
week.
it, eh?
Oh yeah, we'd go there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the stripper tried to pick me up
In the bar.
in the bar. Yeah. She was
Well, she's probably
she was French.
soliciting you.
She was French.
Yeah.
She's like, you should come and see me at the Silver Dollar. Remember?
Oh, I see. What
It's
you're
like, oh, you're there, right?
saying. There's a contractual
If
component to it.
If people understood what the Silver Dollar was, then they would know.
Someday you'll explain it to
Maybe.
the listener, maybe.
Maybe.
Speaking of a good time, DDT, we can either jump into the recipe of the week or the totally altruistic local business.
God,
shout-out.
really? You give me those two choices?
See, we should have ended with the heavy
Jeez.
metal. We should have ended with the heavy
This is
metal.
you're bringing down the whole show now.
Well, you wanted to go in order. This was the problem. This is
Oh,
in
okay.
order.
Well, you could change the order. I'm not looking at your
Yeah,
phone.
see, I should have kept it, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought I'd try the sequence as I had it typed out.
Okay.
The Costco
You pick.
The Costco beef ribs are unreal.
Oh.
So this is the recipe.
Okay. This is the
We're
recipe.
not shouting
Okay.
out Costco. They don't need any
But you just did.
benefits. So I used to never really buy beef ribs because they're a little pricey and they're really tough to
I love
cook.
beef ribs.
Really tough to eat. Yeah, have you had them lately?
Not lately, no.
You've got to try this. You've got to
Okay.
try this. Or I
Okay.
should have you over sometime.
All right.
They're still not cheap, but they're the cheapest kind of meat because I guess the bone
Right.
takes up half the weight or whatever.
Right.
So I can buy 5 or 6 real nice beef ribs from Costco for around $20 to $25, which isn't bad compared to the short ribs or the any sort of, like, I don't even buy steaks anymore there.
No.
It's money matters. Money matters.
Money matters.
But these friggin' beef ribs, dude, unreal. And I would compare them, not that the listener has been there, but the Mandarin buffet has beef ribs.
So you combining the altruistic?
No, I'm not even. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
okay.
Mandarin's not a show.
Oh, okay.
Not in the least.
Okay.
In fact, you got to remind me to go back to the Rahi takeout story from Friday night.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, the beef ribs at the Mandarin, the last time we went might have been a year and a half ago. And I kid you not, I think it was $50.
$50
It was $49 per person for the Friday.
per
Saturday,
person?
Per person for the Friday, Saturday night.
Are
buffet.
you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Oh my
I haven't been back since.
I guess not.
It's cheaper midweek and it's cheaper at lunch, but you also don't get the premium items in the buffet. Okay,
$50
$50, dude,
per person.
per person. You could look it up. $49.99, I think. Yeah. Anyways, so I ended up taking the approach that, well, I'm going to get my money's worth then.
Of course.
Which is stupid though, because it's $50, and I don't know if it's possible. It's not like when I'm 20 and I could eat 5 plates.
Exactly.
So I see beef ribs,
You're
and I
hitting
know
it.
beef ribs are about $5 each.
Yeah.
Like to go buy a beef rib anywhere, right? Even the Costco 5 for $25. Yeah, it's about $5 each.
Yeah.
And they weren't bad.
Yeah.
They weren't bad at Mandarin, but you're chewing them off the bone, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, I had 4 or 5 of those. $25 right there.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
halfway
yeah.
through my $50
Yeah.
tariff to eat at the friggin' Mandarin.
God.
So anyways, back to Costco. Found just the nicest, simplest recipe online.
Yeah.
Okay. Slow cooked
Yeah.
beef ribs
Ooh.
with a rub and a sauce.
Hmm.
Hey, you like that little rub and a sauce?
Like
So the rub,
usually the rub ends up in a sauce.
it depends, eh? So the rub had paprika, garlic salt, garlic pepper, and then I think salt and pepper. Whole bunch of that, like about a teaspoon each, whatever. You rub it all over the ribs, everywhere, nice and rubby. Okay. The sauce, I wish I could remember exactly, but it was like a ketchup, brown sugar, ketchup, brown sugar, a bit more paprika, some Worcestershire. Yeah, and you can tweak this. You can do whatever. Okay. And then the point was put the beef side down in your pan.
Yeah.
Wrap it with tin foil.
Okay.
Lots of sauce. Like I'm talking like a centimeter of sauce in the pan. 5 or 6 nice ribs.
Yeah.
All almost battered with the dry rub and then a little bit of the sauce. In the oven, a low bake. I think it was maybe 300 degrees for like 3 hours.
Wow.
And these friggin' things, man, were falling off the bone.
Nice.
So not like the friggin' Mandarin where you're chewing it.
Yeah.
You would try to, because with half an hour left, you were supposed to go in and turn them.
Right.
If you've done it well, you try to turn them with the
They
bone, the
fall
bone
off.
just falls off.
Right.
So no problem. You kind of carefully flip it over, give it another half hour if you want a little bit of a braise, not a braise, a bit of a glaze on the top.
Glaze.
And these things are unreal.
Nice.
Okay. The only problem being I eat too many of them. Like there is
How
a
can
lot.
you eat too many?
I eat too many.
You can't eat
Because
too
I'll have
many.
5 of them for the
Yeah.
3 of us.
Yeah.
And my son will eat 1, my wife will eat 1, and then I'm eating 3 or 4 because I can't stop after 1.
That's okay.
Anyways,
What
they are
about
unreal.
daughter?
She doesn't eat the beef. Does
right.
not eat the beef.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
No.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. More for us.
Yeah.
But I say give that a try.
All
You
right.
can work that into your good food order. A few ribs.
I've never seen a rib order
No,
on
you
there.
won't. You won't.
I
But
might
if
have
you-
to go to the C word and pick those up.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. Because it doesn't feel like you're breaking the bank either when you're spending $22 or whatever for 5 ribs. Yeah. Because it's the same kind of meat, right, as the short ribs or like
Well, it's a beef.
it's a beef, but it's like a tender juice. Like it's
Yeah.
a really nice
Love
cut,
the
I
beef
find.
rib.
And if you do it right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can't stop thinking about it. We've done that the last 2 weeks in a row. But I'm going to try
Nice.
not. I don't want to do it again this week. I
No?
don't. I think
Yeah,
it's too
because
much.
you'll get sick of it, and then
Well, the problem is I somehow stopped myself from eating all of them last time, and I saved one nice big fat one for lunch the next day.
Yeah.
And then you pull it out of its little glass container the next day, and it's
Yeah.
just sitting in almost looks like Jello.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
All
Well, you got to
that fat and
reheat it.
grease
Yeah,
and
you gotta
sauce.
reheat.
It's like, it doesn't look too appealing.
That's
but
what's
then
going in my
you
body.
warm that puppy up,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
just dripping. It's like
Yeah.
liquid gold.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Liquid gold. Oh,
What's your story from Friday night?
okay.
Yeah, what happened there?
So, on a previous episode's local altruistic business shout out, I think we
Yeah.
gave a shout out to the Rahi Dhaba Indian takeout on Eagleson.
Okay. Yes, we did.
And it's good. I got to tell you, I think it's the best Indian food around.
Okay.
Like it really is.
All
And
right.
I've tried a bunch.
Did you go to the Rang Did that I went to a couple weeks ago?
I've been there a couple years ago. I told
Yeah.
you that funny story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried a bunch. It's not the cheapest, but it's the best. It's really good.
Okay. All right.
So I placed my order, which I'm becoming almost addicted to.
You're regular?
I placed my regular order. I added
Yeah.
a bit to it because my son and I were going to watch the Canada Suriname
Suriname
match
Right.
as part of the CONCACAF Nations Cup.
Right.
I still don't know what CONCACAF stands for. We'll have to look that up someday.
Too bad we didn't have a fact checker.
Yes. So anyway, I dial it in. A chicken berry biryani, 2 chicken samosas,
Ooh.
and a great garlic naan.
Nice.
Okay, all that. It's like a sick meal.
Yeah.
So I guess the only thing I added was the chicken in case give my son. Then I could share it with my son.
Right.
So any of these meals, by the way, I think I mentioned this before. It's good for 2.
Yeah.
So if I'm paying $18 for the chicken berry biryani, again, if I can control my portion inhalation, and I keep half for the next day, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's a great lunch the next day, and I paid $18 for 2 meals rather than $18 for 1 meal.
So
right?
do the math.
Yeah.
It's $9 per meal.
Or 9, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm all excited for this meal. It's all pretty structured. You do it online. You get a text. It's going to be ready at this time. Then it's like, it is now ready. So I head over. It's only like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I get in there. I'm like, yeah, order for Duff.
Yeah.
You know, just like every week. They're looking around.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let me see the receipt. I show them the receipt. Oh. And they're in the back there, and I'm like, come on, guys. And he's like, I'm sorry, but another person, we think his name was also Duff, came in and got it.
Oh, no.
I'm like, BS. Like, really? No, there's no way, right?
No.
So he's just trying to make up an excuse, which is fine.
Right.
And then, like, I hear him calling someone else later and saying, yeah, the delivery guy picked up the wrong order, so blah, blah, blah. So one of the Uber drivers just grabbed the wrong bag.
Oh.
Probably didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
So part of me thought, well, what was the order he should have taken, right?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
better than mine? It couldn't be
Yeah.
because I love my order and I
Yeah,
wouldn't really
yeah.
want another one anyways. But they're like, can I get you a drink? We're cooking it up. And they don't have this stuff ready to go right away. They create everything from scratch.
Okay.
So
That's
it
good.
is 20 minutes. I got to wait now.
Oh.
Can I get you a drink? This,
Yeah.
No. And he's like, oh, come on, man. Come on. We'll make you a nice warm chai. I'm like, okay, fine. So I get this funky tea. It was pretty
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
actually. But anyways, I was 20 minutes late for the pregame then.
Oh.
So, yeah, it all worked out. I
So
still highly
happened to you-
recommend that place.
Whatever happened to your order? You ever find out?
The original order was picked up by
Some
a
Uber
delivery
dude.
driver, and it got delivered somewhere. Yeah.
Some
That's-
guys like, I never ordered this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the thing. the owner called that person just to make sure he knew he got the wrong order. But
Yeah.
again, I bet you.
So does that guy now got to wait
It was
20
a
minutes
friggin'
too?
nice order. Like, you know what? It was a nice order, and I bet you it was probably better than his original order, so he didn't care.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
You think he kept it, eh?
Oh, I think they kept it for sure.
Yeah.
They would. You're not going to send it back and have to wait. If you're getting delivery,
Yeah, you
then
would
you're
have to
waiting
wait
an
another-
hour to get
That's
something
what I was just
back.
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's
No.
probably disappointed that he didn't get his regular order either.
He was disappointed. I was disappointed. I mean, I guess that happens though, right? Like, but
Well,
these-
it wasn't
these
the
drivers-
restaurant's fault. Let's put it that
It wasn't
way.
the restaurant's fault.
It
But
was
why
the
don't
dumb
people's-
driver's
yeah,
fault.
Why don't they just a little bit more care? Because even the driver, he's not going to get a tip on some sort of mess up like that either, right?
Tip's already added, probably.
Not for the stupid Uber. No, you can
No.
add later for that.
Oh.
I think.
I don't know.
I know I hate takeout. I don't tip on takeout anymore. I just refuse to.
Why would you ever tip on takeout?
People do, I guess. Like that's
Serious?
always there as an option, and I
Yeah, I
just
never
don't
do.
do it anymore.
I never do that.
Anyhow, no. So yeah, back to the food talk again, eh? Yeah, I still a great place. I'll probably be doing the damn thing again next Friday night, but
Is that? Oh, it's your regular Friday.
pretty much, yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah, money doesn't matter, DDT.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Money does not
Money.
matter.
Speaking of money not mattering.
Yes.
You hear I know most people outside our listeners outside of the cities won't
Yeah.
give a flying what
Yeah.
about this.
Oh God.
But the city of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, property tax increase of 3.9%, Duff.
Here we go again on our own.
A little white snake.
Down the only road
I've
with
ever
all the
known
holes.
with all the potholes. Exactly.
But we keep voting for
where there's no infrastructure to be had.
tax raises.
Yeah.
It's just another
Because
2%.
the O train is costing us through the roof.
Actually, it's just another 3%.
0.9, 4%. Almost 4.
4%.
3.9.
I ain't
Can you believe
wasting
that?
no more wine. DDT,
Yes, Duff.
I've told you that our time is limited
Oh.
in this city, right?
Oh, I thought you meant right now in the podcast. Okay, yeah.
No, it's death by a million pinpricks,
Oh,
right?
God, tell me about it.
4%
I can't afford this
may
place
only
anymore.
be another 100, 200, but then your water bill is going to be an extra 30 a month. Your
Yep.
electricity is going to be an extra 50 a month.
Yep.
Like every little bit adds up,
Yep.
and it's hard, right? And then the gas tank and everything else, like
Well, you got a nice little
yeah.
raise.
Yeah, I
bonus
can't complain.
there.
I can't complain.
But I don't get my raise until the new year. and
Okay, but at least
It'll
that'll-
probably be a measly 2%.
well, it'll help you catch up a little bit, right?
Only
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Like half.
Half. What do you mean half? Oh, half of the property tax
Yeah.
rate. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy, eh? It's
Yeah.
crazy the amount of money that we pay. I don't think I can afford the basement cave anymore. I might have to sell the basement, the house.
I was hoping
Oh.
your buddy though. What? Sorry.
So I was just
going
going to say the other thing
Yeah.
that's getting me, well, not you, but you like to go down there often,
Oh gosh, yeah.
is the American dollar, the
Yeah.
exchange
Well,
rate.
that's a whole other story.
It's gone down.
We can definitely. You mean down?
Canadian dollar has gone down.
Yeah,
It's
of
tanking.
course. No, we can talk about
And
that.
you were going to talk about my buddy.
No, we can talk about that in one sec. But yeah, your buddy, the mayor, Mr. Mark Sutcliffe.
Oh, I thought you meant my other
Which
buddy,
other buddy?
Justin.
Oh no, he's not your buddy. He's just your
No.
buddy.
Yeah, just my
Yeah. No, there's again. We talked about this.
Yeah,
yesterday
my buddy
at coffee,
buddy.
But we talked about this yesterday at coffee. The
Yeah.
significance of any of these decisions is almost infantilely, and infantile.
Yes.
Okay?
Very
at the national
infantile.
level,
Yeah.
who cares, right?
Yeah.
Locally is where we're getting screwed, and that's where everything gets done. We have
Exactly.
the most sort of reaction to
That's it.
things, and at this rate, we can't.
What was my
we can't keep
suggestion?
it up.
My suggestion was that we reverse how taxes get,
Yes.
where taxes get paid
Yeah,
to,
start
and who
local.
gets the most
I
money.
agree.
I say municipal,
Yeah.
provincial, and
Yeah.
then federal get the scraps.
Yeah, but I guess back to local though, municipal, and what can actually help us more is I was hoping your guy would have trimmed the fat. I was hoping he'd really go in there and be a little bit more structurally responsible and get rid of stuff we don't need.
Do you remember?
There's so much we don't need.
Well, do you remember when Larry O'Brien?
Definitely.
Because he went in. Yeah. And they get pushback, right? There's no way you're going against the union. No way you're going against everybody else that's in the administration to try and push back. He lasted one term and he was out.
So maybe the lesson to be learned there is what Sutcliffe's trying to follow. Like, he's going to keep pushing inch by inch, getting what he can, and hopefully that approach will work.
I don't know if he's pushing back. I mean, the biggest issue, to be honest, is the transit, right? They're in the whole big time.
It's massive.
It's
I almost wish
poop show.
No,
it's a real poop show.
It's a horrendous
years
failure.
behind schedule.
Yeah.
On the trains, and just
I don't know what.
Who's the manager there?
Yeah,
how
we've talked
do
about
they get
this
to keep
a
the
million
job?
times, right?
Yeah.
And my gut feeling is nobody ever chooses to take the friggin' bus. I get that. Part of me thinks, wouldn't it be nice if it was just all free? Maybe more people would take it.
But how do you pay for it?
But how do you pay for it? Yeah. So I don't know. I really have no help on that one. But I'm just thinking of everything else. Like the city of Ottawa. Like, if you had a list from 1 to 20,000 of every single person that was employed by the city of Ottawa, and
I think it's like anything else.
It is a lot like anything else, but worse because it's not a private company that won't exist if it loses money. Right? So they're always managing people and what they do or whatever, but the government will have people there that are not improving the situation. Like they
I think it's like any government type of thing. If you look at like healthcare, for example, I bet you if somebody wanted to go and seriously audit the healthcare services, you'd probably find that there are way too many people in the middle,
of course,
probably doing nothing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, just locally,
and
municipally.
Was it you that said somebody said to me, it's just better than having people on welfare?
Oh, I never said that.
Okay, somebody mentioned that to me.
That's
we were
ridiculous.
discussing it. It's like, these are jobs that,
but that's such an old.
It would be better.
I've heard that approach, but that is ridiculous in 2024 when there are countless jobs out there going unfilled. Like, there is a work.
But we're talking about like good paying pension jobs.
There's still good jobs out there, man. Yeah, like, there really is.
But they need to put the money where on the front lines. Like, build more beds, have more doctors.
Well, you keep going, you keep taking me away from local municipal matters here, DDT.
But municipal matters, you're right, because...
But you're right. The parallel is there's probably, if there's 20,000 employees for the city of Ottawa, I would argue that there's 1,000...
At least.
Which is only, 5% right off the top that could be gone.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
So let's start there.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
O'Brien
a welfare.
Probably went in hard and did an audit and realized there was probably like 40%.
Yeah.
And people lost their mind. But if you go in realistically and say, through attrition, blah, 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 this and that,
well, wouldn't that
we're trimming 1,000 jobs.
But wouldn't my welfare comment make sense? If there's people working there, it's because otherwise they would...
might.
I'm not saying welfare,
no,
but they would be on...
I understand what you're saying. It might. But it's far more likely they would get a package. They could move out slowly and get on somewhere else in the public sector, in the private sector.
But the
skills that they presumably have.
Right. The way the system works now, top down, federally gets the money. Yeah. They dole it to the province, and then the province
that's a stupid
doles
system.
it out. We are most impacted by municipal.
100%.
The money needs to go to the municipalities first. And the government, the federal government, they love to buy votes, especially this liberal government, by we're going to have $10 a day daycare. We're going to have pharmacare. We're going to have dental care. We're going to have this, that, and the other thing.
They keep pulling it away from municipal.
Well, I'm just saying that there's all these programs that the money are going to that doesn't really benefit the local.
No value.
Well, I mean,
keep the water flowing through the pipes.
Exactly.
Keep the brown and the black stuff flowing out the other way.
Right.
Plow the streets. What am I missing?
Fill in the potholes.
Build
more roads.
You know what? They're not filling in the potholes, so don't bother filling in the potholes. Like, that's fine. No, we don't even care about the potholes.
Right.
Plow the snow. keep the water coming, the lights on.
Yeah.
And,
Here's the thing.
Like what else for municipal?
We
man?
talk about transit.
Do
for
I
example.
need do I need a
police?
But
you
do I need a
police,
department?
fire?
The garbage. Take the garbage every 2
Yeah,
weeks.
and have
whatever.
police for.
But
law
do
and
I
order.
need a municipal department for
cultural activities?
Cultural activities, for some sort of healthcare thing, or like anything that's already a file provincially or nationally. We don't need triplification.
No, we don't.
Eh?
But here's the thing: like
Yeah.
the social services,
Yeah.
a lot of it is run by the city, right? But there's
Yeah.
no money for that.
Yeah, it should be.
So if the money was coming into the city first,
from the provincial level, sure. Oh,
No,
see,
no.
start. I see your point. Yeah. Start
then
local.
they would have
Yeah,
more
yeah.
money for these
Yeah.
things. But and you could
That's
have
a
the
great
social
point
services.
because a poor city like Ottawa is getting pushed a lot of, like all these you're hearing about these emergency shelters for the poor.
Yeah, exactly.
Not immigrants, for the refugees.
The refugees.
The poor,
asylum
yeah,
seekers,
like God bless them, but why is the city of Ottawa having to solve the issue?
That's the
Because
thing.
that's a federal thing,
Right, exactly. But the feds
Yeah.
are not doing it. But if you had the money coming to the city first, feds last,
Yeah.
then presumably you have.
Yeah.
Here's an oxymoron, though. You like that word?
I do.
Yeah. The OC transport, the transit system
Yeah,
here in
yeah.
Ottawa. Okay, for the Podbeanskis out there. So it's in the hole big time.
Yeah.
Their solution is to cut. They want more people riding it.
At one point, Sutcliffe said, even if phase whatever gets open and is safe and operating, we're not going to start it because we can't afford to run it.
Yeah,
Remember that threat? So I don't know where
that's.
what that stands.
But here's the thing, right? How dumb is this?
Yeah.
We want more people riding it, but at the same time, we're cutting the routes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
No.
how dumb is that? Maybe look internal. How many middle management jobs in there that you
I
can
don't
cut
know.
first before cutting routes? The routes are the service,
Oh, it's,
and people complain that there's no
Yeah.
service.
It's absolutely.
But we're going to cut the
incredible.
routes because we can't afford it.
You know, and
Okay.
I feel so bad. There's a couple of businesses around Richmond Road and Woodruff that have basically had hammering and construction in their front for like a year now.
yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
losing
4 or
their
5 years.
livelihoods.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's
It's a
that,
real
and
mess
then the
there.
West Extension. I've been biking by it now for 2 years, and
Yeah.
it's slowly coming along. Like it almost looks like it'll be open at some point, right? But
I
wonder if it takes this long in other places too. Like
Oh, the one in Toronto, the one that they're building
they have
that
one
East
that takes
Extension in
forever.
TTC.
Yeah.
That's going on.
That's a
Was
bit of
it
a
like
joke.
11 or 13 years or something like that?
But it
They've
must
been
be
building that
opening
thing.
in segments.
No,
The
it's not
whole
open.
thing?
The whole thing is not
Oh
open.
my
It's been
God.
like at least 11 years.
Well, maybe we shouldn't complain too much. Then.
Oh, it's so bad.
No.
There's incompetence, I think.
Yeah,
Speaking of incompetent,
yeah.
what about your Ottawa Senators?
Oh man, my
God.
Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
I'm not as upset about them as you are. I will say that.
I
As of this moment, I think their record is 8-8-1
yes.
or 9-9-1. 8
No,
8
8-8-1.
They're exactly 500.
They're
okay?
500. Yeah. Well,
If
if you
you
take
would've-
the
if-
OTL,
If you would have
Overtime
offered
loss,
up, sure, but if
that's
you would have
under
offered
500.
up that, if you would have offered up that, that record in any of the last 3 or 4 years, you'd take it in a heartbeat, right? Like we're still in the mix in November. How many Novembers do
so
you look
far,
at it?
but look at their schedule.
Yeah, but
coming
how many
up.
Novembers have you looked at it and you just thought, in your heart, you
Yeah.
were hopeful, but in your
Yeah.
mind you knew it was over.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
think
not
it's
there
over.
yet. Yeah, it's.
I'm
well,
pessimistic.
Statistically, it's not
I'm
over.
glass half empty.
Yeah, no kidding, you are.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's not over.
Look at this week who they have to play:
Well, usually
Edmonton,
Yeah, Edmonton.
Vegas.
Okay, where here in town is Vegas?
Yeah,
here?
they have a
Nice,
4-game
okay.
homestand.
Okay, good.
Edmonton, Vegas,
Yeah.
and a couple of other top teams
Yeah.
coming.
So what I will again say, I'd take this one to the bank, is they do seem to play better against better teams in general.
Well, they didn't last night. I mean, take away the non-call
there's
penalty, the
82
non-penalties.
I know, but and you can't. There's always an if, an and, or a but to these conversations,
Sure.
DDT. But on average, they play better against better teams, and I think
The Philadelphia game.
I think
was-
the last that game in Vegas that they kind of played really well and lost.
Blew it.
Hopefully, they'll recall when they play them again.
Mhm.
And I don't know, man. I don't.
Well, Carolina is a good team. They played
Carolina's a
last
good
night,
team, sure.
and they were
yeah.
very. The Sens
It
were
was
very
a sluggish
sluggish.
game. They were
Yeah.
in it. I thought they had a chance, and then I have to admit I wasn't in the mood for watching much of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, reffing. Everybody's complaining about the reffing,
Yeah.
and I do. I didn't. I was driving home from my dad's, and I heard the Stutzel call.
What a weird one, man.
That okay? You can argue that is
What
not a
weird
penalty
one.
at all.
Never seen anything like that in my
But
life.
at the same time,
yeah.
Ottawa could not get it out of their own end.
No.
Carolina was on them. I mean,
Yeah.
you had
Carolina's a good team.
going into the second period, you had like all of like 8 or 9
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Like in the end of second,
Dude,
you had
that's
like
sports. I try to remind myself I'm not going to get
But
too high or too low with
that
this
was
team before
Philadelphia.
Christmas.
That
Like
was Philadelphia the other night.
Sure.
Had 8 shots,
Sure.
and then they end up winning the game.
I
But
might
Ottawa cannot
suggest-
do that.
I might suggest you sit back and enjoy these games as a fan. Don't try to analyze it. Don't try to coach it. And
Can't
it
do
is
that.
what it is. And then February, March, let's see where we are and if we want to take our emotions up a notch or not. Because right now, like, whatever.
Well, here-
There's so many friggin' games, and it's
Like
so
last night-
long of a season.
Yeah. Like last night, people were complaining about the ref,
Yeah.
and rightly so. It was not very good.
Yeah, whatever.
But when you look at the penalties,
Yeah.
Carolina was 2 for 5
Yeah, I
on
know.
the power play.
No, the special
Ottawa
teams decided the game.
was 0 for 4.
Yeah.
So it's not like the penalties were
I
lopsided
did
one
think
way.
it was out of character, though, that Ottawa did take. Ottawa ended up with the small section of the match I watched that we had like 3 or 4 penalties in a row, and that was the game, eh?
Yeah, they took a stupid
Culminating
bench
with
minor.
a stupid too many men on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like the
I blame
penalties
Alfie
weren't
for
like.
that one.
Yeah,
Does he ever talk? Do they let him talk anymore?
I've never seen him.
I've never
come on
seen his
really.
mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of just standing. He doesn't look. It looks a bit awkward. I find.
Yeah. But it was like the penalties weren't like 7-2 in favor of the
Yeah.
the Canes. There was 5-4, so the penalty calls were almost even. It's just
Yeah.
that Ottawa could
Yeah.
not do anything on the power play.
True.
If they had gone 2 for 4,
Yeah. Totally different game.
different game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just. It's
What
just
can you do?
people blaming the refs. No, you gotta stop the. You gotta not let them score on the power play,
It's a
and you
simple
gotta
game.
score on the
It's
power
a
play.
simple game.
Yeah.
I
That's
do
the
hope
bottom line.
Alfie does have more of an impact, maybe on the practice ice or something too, right?
Oh, I've seen clips from that.
Yeah,
where
does he
he's-
get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
how we doing for time, DDT?
Oh. Yeah.
I'm hearing your.
Oh shoot.
I'm hearing some shuffling up there. Maybe you gotta
Yeah.
get someone to the airport soon, eh?
Train station.
Train station.
Yeah. Train. Gotta get this train station. Let's see. Here we are. Why did it not work there? I didn't put in the right password. Why not? Ah, boy.
Are we still on?
Oh, we're at 1 hour.
We're still on. The listener had to listen to the washing machine.
Yeah,
there
the
for
washing machine going.
20 seconds of dead silence.
Exactly.
Well, all right, DDT.
Good show.
Let's
Good show.
let's get the part. Let's reconnect with Scotty.
Yeah.
Let's
Are
get
you
out of, let's
around
get out
next
of the
weekend?
basement. Is it next weekend or the next weekend?
I know
I'm
you're
off.
going somewhere, eh?
I think I'm around next
No,
weekend.
that you are now around next weekend. It's the following, I think you said.
I'm around this upcoming
Right.
weekend.
We got to figure that out, eh?
Yeah.
Whether it's next weekend,
We can never
this coming
we don't know
weekend.
the meaning of next. That's what it
Exactly.
boils down to.
Yeah, we're all on
Are
different
you guys
pages.
free next Friday? So
I would
listener-
assume that would be this coming Friday.
So why wouldn't you just say this coming Friday?
Right.
Are you free this coming Friday? Or are you free next Friday?
Next Friday, meaning this coming Friday.
But next refers to something after something. There's this, and then next, and then
Yeah, but next Friday could mean this coming Friday.
I don't know. I don't see it that way. When I hear next, I think the next one.
The next one after that.
Yeah.
But me and it seems that me and
I
JB
see-
are on the same page,
You
but
are, eh?
you're a bit off.
So if you say next Friday,
I'm thinking it's this coming Friday.
because I'm so used to this Friday. Like if I right now it's November 17th.
Yeah.
Friday, November 22nd
Is next Friday.
is this Friday.
Next Friday.
This Friday. Next Friday to me would be the next one. There's this Friday and next Friday. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say if you told me,
JB,
are you
I get it. You guys both see it that way.
if
Eh?
you're available next Friday, I'm thinking it's the.
How about Monday? Would we say next Monday or Monday?
I would say tomorrow.
How about Tuesday? Do you want to do it
Next Tuesday.
What's next Tuesday?
Oh,
The one
I
in
don't
2
know.
days or the one in 9?
I don't know.
See, it gets tricky, eh?
It does.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
next Tuesday is definitely the 26th.
Yeah, you're right.
Whereas Tuesday.
This Tuesday. I would
this
say
Tuesday.
this. I would say this.
So I just
because
carry-
it's only a couple
I
days
carry
away.
That on. I carry that on right through all 7 days.
I know, but I'm saying it's this Tuesday only because it's a couple days away.
I think I just saw the light bulb go off.
God, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm exhausted.
that's a good debate though. That
We did it in
Eh?
the wrong sequence.
we
though.
did.
We should have started.
with that.
No, we should have started with the ribs and the. I never did my actual. We never got to the totally altruistic local business shout out.
Next week.
Next week.